if you listen to react, the only thing you're doing is just waiting for them to be done so that you can just counteract what they're saying. That's a horrible salesperson. And there's the people who listen and then they actually have to pause and say, wait, like they're literally saying like,
welcome back to Young Smart Money with me, your host, Apple Kreider. Today we're sitting down with Jordan Nazario, the Chief Sales Officer of Digilism, a company who we just interviewed the founder of, Christian Maldonado. We interviewed him about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. Today we have Jordan on the show, and he is somebody who ended up dropping out of school kind of on a whim to work with Christian when he ended up meeting up with him coincidentally on a trip that he went on, had a one-way ticket, never ended up getting a return trip. He ended up just staying down there, building this company. Now they're at a point where they're almost bringing in $1 million a year. By the time this episode drops, they might already be there. But again, him, Christian, and the 4 other partners of this business are doing absolutely massive, massive things. And I wanted to bring Jordan onto the show in particular to talk about sort of his mindset and sales, because sales is something that he's been doing for a very long time. This dude is naturally extremely talented when it comes to selling things. So I wanted to sort of pick his brain and figure out what it is that goes into his sales process and what it is that makes him so effective at being able to really sell ice to an Eskimo. So we got him on the show. He drops some amazing, amazing value when it comes to sales, when it comes to mindset, psychology, all of that good stuff. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned. So wherever you're at right now, we're going to hop right into the interview. So sit back, relax, plug in, and enjoy this episode of Young Smart Money with Jordan Nazario. Welcome to Young Smart Money. How are you doing today?
What's up, Apple? How are you, man? I'm doing excellent, excited. Like I mentioned before, it's so hard for me to get 5 minutes a day. If it's a priority, I'll put 10 minutes in there, but for you, my man, you got my whole day, man. What's up?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that a ton, man. So our listeners got to hear a little bit about you in the intro, but for those of them that aren't familiar with Jordan Nazario and what you're currently working on right now, give us like a 60 to 90 second intro as to what you're currently doing.
Basically, a little bit about myself. Well, what I'm currently doing is, I'm partnered up with 5 individuals. Together we make 6, but we're running one of the, fastest growing digital marketing agencies in Florida. It's honestly really cool how we came together, in a matter of under a year. We're so close to hitting that goal, that $1 million mark. And from there, it's just exciting to see what it's going to take to get to the next level, right? We're currently now working to branding a few events. We work with some big businesses, companies, corps, personal brands. We've helped over 1,000 individuals as well, build e-commerce businesses, social media marketing agencies, digital marketing agencies, consulting businesses. So that's exciting. And overall, man, the goal is just to be next level.
I love it, man. And we just had your business partner, Christian, on the show about a week ago, and he dropped some massive value. So I'm super stoked to talk with you. He said you were the man. So I'm stoked for this conversation. But I like to start all these conversations off flashing back in time, talking about like your middle school and high school years, because we got a lot of younger listeners on the show. So I want to hear, what was that like for you? Were you somebody that was really into entrepreneurship already? Were you into school? Were you into music, sports? Like, what did that look like for you?
Middle school is so confusing. Okay. Okay. I even have to go back and like delete some pictures. So when I was in middle school, like I was in like 30 different phases just growing up, because like, I didn't have like a direct kind of someone telling me like this is how it's gonna be, right? So like me, there was a time I was into skateboarding, snowboarding, sports, musical theater, drama. I mean everything, karate, back to sports, this, that.
Wow.
But what really kind of like never left my side was business. I mean, you were to talk to my mom, she could talk to you for hours. She would tell you how since I was like 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years old, I would find a way to sell anything. So if it was a sunny day, I'd have a hat to sell, right? If it was a cold day, I'd have a jacket to sell. If it was Halloween, I'd have candy to sell for, I would go door to door on Halloween when I first moved into my new house. I think I was like 15 years old. And I literally went and sold door to door candy, because the way I pitched it without even knowing that I was selling, I was just like, well, Mrs., I'm new to the neighborhood here, and the least that I can do is help you out. So I understand it's Halloween day. Do you really want to take the time away from your family to go to the store? That's going to be 15 minutes. Plus you got to wait online. Plus people are last minute shopping. Plus the taxes. Plus this. Plus that one. I can get you all the candy you want in this box for this price. And I'm like, 14, 15 years old doing this. Not realizing And I come home with a lot of cash, and my mom's just like confused. Like, you're good at what you do. I just don't know what you do yet. She's like, I don't know what to put you in. Should I put you back in soccer? Should I put you back in this, that? She's like confused, right? So growing up, I was in absolutely everything, but I just found a way to monetize every little thing I did.
Huh. What was like the draw to you to business? Was it just like finding ways to make money? Was it like what was the fascination there?
It's exciting, man. It's honestly like the thrill, the hype. My mom always says that it's in my blood because my mom was an entrepreneur growing up. She when she had my siblings, like she used to like find a way to always make money, whether it was like renting like a cart with just a cart space, and then she would make her own shampoo, she would sell fruit, she'd buy and sell, resell. And then my dad was an entrepreneur as well. So my biological father was he had like a thrift shop, and then he had like a buy and resell business as well. He had his own 99-cent store, he had like a shop. So he had a lot of businesses.
Wow.
And ran her own businesses growing up too. So I feel like it's in me as well, to be honest. Like, it's just in me. But for me, like, before I even knew what business was, I just did it. Like, I literally would be like 6 or 7 years old, and I would tell my mom, let's go to KB Toys or like Toys R Us so I can buy those little mini like toy ATMs. So I love having an ATM growing up, bro. Like, for me, pennies or dollars, like, I would look at my mom would give me $1 for something. Like, mom, can I get some candy or whatever? She gave me $1, and I would always look at the dollar and be like, okay, cool. Is this real? Awesome. And I wouldn't even buy the can and be like, thank you, mom, appreciate your support. And I put it into my little ATM, right? It was just fun for me. And I love knowing that I can generate money from nothing. I've been able to do that. I've been able to just like have a conversational way of selling in terms of psychology. People say like I'm very good at it. Like I said, man, I actually heard this once. I can't remember who it was. It was about a year ago, and I was on the phone with someone, and they were like, here's the thing about you. It's like your life could end up two different ways, right? They were like, you're either going to become so wealthy, very powerful, and very successful from the way that you sell, or you might end up in jail. And I was so confused because I was like, well, what does that mean? He's like, basically, you can sell ice to an Eskimo, right? But if you sell to the wrong people something that potentially could not benefit them, it can come bite you in the ass one day, right? So if you're good at what you do and you change the world, awesome, you'll be a multimillionaire by the time you hit 30 years old. Or you'll end up in jail like Jordan Belfort did. Because you'll get the power in your head. You'll start to get addicted to, I'm good at what I do. I'm actually really good at what I do. You know, it can get me in a lot of trouble in terms of the way I talk. I can convince people and do a lot of psychological persuasion. So he was like, just follow the path. Don't do anything wrong if you do what you're doing, but don't get too greedy and don't think about too much about money. Think about how you can change the world, because already doing that is what makes you give, you know?
So what's like your vision? Like, what are you working towards? What's that path leading you to that you're following right now?
Honestly, for me, I just want to be known, man. Like I have this thing. Okay, so a year ago, not like literally 12 months ago, I dropped out of college, right? I dropped out of school, and I was nobody, bro. Like nobody, my school knew me. Obviously, I was in a fraternity, and my friends were there, but like I wasn't known like by anybody else. My Instagram had 1,000 followers. I didn't care about it. I didn't post any pictures. I just had my fun. I was in school. I was, having fun in class. Like, I didn't care, right? Then I started realizing what would happen. Like what started happening when I put my entrepreneurial abilities from when I was younger in sales and stuff like that, I built stuff from nothing. Like I built businesses and ideas from the ground up so many times, and so many have failed and so many have been done wrong, right? But they started. That's the thing about me. I start something. So for me specifically, just the ability of like what I've been able to do in just a short amount of time has gotten a lot of like notoriety, right? So entrepreneur, Yahoo Finance, NASDAQ, Influenza, all these publications are now kind of like grasping like, who am I? Who is Jordan Nazario, and why is he disrupting the entire industry? So from there, it's grabbing more attention. Hopefully by the end of the year, I can make it Forbes. And for me, it's just that knowing that I can be on those publications, right? Because I'm a Latino, so I'm Hispanic. I wasn't born here. I was born in Peru. The fact that I can drop out, not be from here, not be obviously in favor of America's rules, but still be able to become successful.
Yeah, absolutely. So fill us in a little bit on what kind came between your like hustling like candy door to door and then like where you're at now. So like that progression throughout high school, getting to college. What did that whole process look like for you?
I did it for fun. Like I said, I did it for fun when I was in middle school to high school. It was just fun for me. It was just like making money. I was like, wow, this is like, I don't need a job. Like I never was a fan of getting a job. But my parents always told me get a job because it's a safe route.
Yeah.
Safe thing to do. You don't want to risk anything. Trust us, because obviously my parents, like they're both Latino as well. and they're not favored in society back then, right? It was more of my mom worked a job for her whole life, being a housekeeper and working part-time jobs, and my stepdad was an electrical engineer. So it was just like a ton of work for them. I barely got to spend time with them. My mom tried her best. So for me, I was just like, how do I occupy my time? Like, I just, all right, cool, I'll stay out. I literally would get detention just so I can sell stuff, bro. Like, I would be in detention for an hour and a half. What's the number one thing that people complain about when they're after school and lunch is at 12 p.m. is the last time for lunch? You're hungry, right? You want candy. You want something to eat. So I'm going to have to with my little sliced apples, with my M&Ms, my Skittles. I just make money. Like, I had fun doing it. I just have that ability to think outside the box and find out how can I monetize this. You know what I mean? So it's just that idea. Then I came to college, and then, man, when I came to school, I was going for a finance degree because I wanted to work on Wall Street as an investment banker. Okay. I had a connection to one of the vice presidents of English Capital because he, long story short, he did an interview on me when I was in like middle school. I had straight A's, and I was just like standing out for my class.
Wow.
I had that interview. It was a mock interview. He liked me, gave me his business card, and I contacted him like 8 years later. And I was, okay, like, I'm going to school, I'm going to college. What do you recommend? What I studied. He told me I got to school. I just started studying. I didn't bother doing any business for the first semester. I pledged a fraternity because that took a lot of my time. And from there, it was just work, school, and work, school, work, pledging, take my time, studying. And then from there, I just felt like, wait a minute, like, out of nowhere, out of the blue one day, I just went on my Facebook, saw a friend of mine that I went to elementary with before I moved, and I just contacted him and said, hey, bro, like, it's been so long, but you and I used to have a business together. Because our business together, when we were literally like in second and third grade, we would sell candy, we would sell water bottles in between lunch. And like, it was, I'm always the type of person that if I don't have the money, so I kind of laugh at people when they're like, oh, I don't have money to start a business. And the reason I look at them, and it's like, it's an excuse to not become what you want to become, right? I've never in my life, when I had a business running, never started out with my own money. People fund me all the time. People used to tell me, like I had a friend who knew that I'm just good at giving people what they want and having money come in return, right? So when that happened, he was like, bro, I'll give you $200. You should go buy these things. And I ended up selling them in high school. And like, it just comes down to that. People make excuses all the time. So for me, like, I went to school, did my thing, started a business again. I started a social media marketing agency, went to complete shit, like very bad. I had to redo it, man.
What went wrong?
To be honest, I was in school. I was having fun. I had no urgency. I had no goal. I had no vision. It was just like, to be honest, bro, I kind of lost that drive that I had from middle school and high school, because now what became fun became reality. I have like student loans. I have all these things. So I'm thinking myself, I guess credibility. I was like, all right, cool. I'll start a little social media marketing agency. I got my LLC, my business partner, awesome. We have no clients, no money, no nothing. But, right, I did this dumb thing, I changed my bio to entrepreneur, as everybody wants to do nowadays. So I'm thinking to myself, like, that's so cool. Like, I'm the shit. Like, I'm a freshman in college. I have entrepreneur in my bio. Like, oh my God, look at me. But I had no clients, no money.
That's huge, man. And so many people are like, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur, but like, what are you doing? Like, are you making money? Like, what's your business? Like, so many people just use the word, but they're not doing anything.
Exactly, man. I just see that too much nowadays, bro. It's just a waste of time seeing that stuff.
100%. So you mentioned earlier that you're really good at thinking outside the box. What would you tell a younger listener or somebody who wants to start developing that skill of being able to like see things that other people don't see, or start putting together these dots that other people don't see, the connections between? Like, how did you start developing that? Was it just natural for you? Or like, how do you think like a 16, 17, 18-year-old could start thinking a little bit outside the box?
To be honest, to start thinking outside the box is to start seeing what's in front of you. Just see what's in front of you, man. Like, for me, like, anywhere I go, bro, I can make money anywhere. I'm like that positive that anywhere on the human planet that I can go, I will make money. I will never like starve. I will never leave my family in that position. I'll never leave my friends and family in that position. It's like simple, like just think about this, right? Go walk somewhere and it's completely cold. Like, it's completely cold. And you have just next time you go around that area, bring some jackets, bring some scarves, bring some gloves, right? If you're outside IKEA, right? For example, boom, IKEA's prices are a certain amount. Do your research, go on Google. IKEA charges $80 an hour. Cool. Wait outside, get a group of your friends, all wear the same shirt that says Jordan's Movers or whatever it is, right? get there and just wait outside and say, hey, listen, IKEA charges 80, we charge $50 an hour, and we're younger, so we're willing to work more. There's your money. I mean, there's just so many ways. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
tutoring, another way of making money. Apps, another way of making money. Someone has a problem, solve it, and then compensate your time, another way of making money. So people just have too many excuses of doing that stuff. And like, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, just look at what's right in front of you. Someone needs a pencil. Literally, there are super lazy people out there. Like, I've made money from the dumbest things on the planet, but it's because I'm good at it. So like someone wants their boom, an exam, like a final exam for high school, a final exam for college. You just have to think outside the box in terms of what is the end result for them. Their end result is, I need to finish this exam, right? It doesn't even matter if they have to get an A. They just need to actually do something, because if they don't do the exam, they have a 0.
Mm-hmm.
I need to finish an exam. So come the day of the exam with like a box of pencils, if it's Scantron. Because a lot of people lose their pencils or they lose their pens. Come on in there. 5 people are at least going to be like, oh, crap, I forgot my thing. Here you go, bro. But it's going to be $1 because my time to get this, and I needed to do something you needed. So what do you want to do? You know what I mean? It's just supply and demand. It's just like in demand, it's high demand. Cool, here's $1. You can make $10 that day. You can go class to class, do 10 classes, you made $100 a day. Do that for all the finals a week, 100 times 5, you made $500. You know what I mean?
100%. And like, just seeing what the problems are that are around you. Like, what are the problems that you have on an everyday basis? Like, other people are going to have those same problems. And just like where value is created, that's where the income flows. So if you are creating value for people, that's where the money is. And so many people get wrapped up in the idea of like, I'm going to start a business so that I can make money, but they're not looking at like the problem that they're solving or like the value they're providing to people. And I think that's really big.
Exactly, man. 100%. Just be the problem solver. Like I said, to think outside the box, you just have to see what's in front of you and be creative about it.
For sure. So throughout this process of you basically like doing all these different hustles, going to college, ending up dropping out, did you have any like mentor figures? I know you said your dad was somebody who was kind of an entrepreneur, but did you have any like people who you were looking up to in any certain space or that were kind of mentoring you?
Yes. Okay. That's a very important question. I get asked that so many times because people are always like, did someone teach you? Did someone honestly like you can't just become this and that? For the first 18 years of my life, it was just me, honestly.
Wow.
It was just watching things. It was just being attentive to things. It was just seeing like, my mom used to take me to the flea market, not to buy, but just to see how it is. She was like, look how they make their money, right? Look how they make their money. And then look at the other side of the world where they're just begging on the streets for money. You know what I'm saying? So my mom, I guess, could be my first mentor. She just gave me a lot of insight, a lot of advice, a lot of value in terms of how not to do things. Then I just use my head and say, well, then if I can't do it this way, then I got to do it this way or this way, this way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's where my creativity sparked. But yes, I've had a mentor. I had one of my clients when I was in second semester freshman in college, and I went back to end of the second semester. I went back home for the summer. I had a client for health services. It was Alliance Services or something like that. And they were in Garden City, New York, and they were my first ever client, right? We were going to get a $5,000 deal on a monthly basis. And the guy was my mentor. It was actually 2. It was him, and then his mentor was my mentor. So one of them was like 86, and the other guy was like 50-something.
Wow.
He just mentored me. Like, they talked straight up business, like, you'll get sued if you do this. You'll get sued if you do that. You need payroll. You need insurance. You can't, hire an intern and not pay them. Like, there were just so many things that I was learning at once. What the role of a president, a CEO, a CFO, a CTO, all these things were. And I'm like 18 years old. So I spent a whole summer with them, and I started realizing the lingo. And I was like, okay, I understand what it is like now. Then from there, I had another mentor, but that was kind of like a mentor that I paid for consulting. So I learned from them for a few hours and just kind of got to see what it's like on like a more now technical basis here. Like, okay, this is how business really done online. And then my cousin was one of my mentors. My cousin, he's a self-made millionaire. So
wow.
He would just mentor me in a way of like not telling me what to do. It's just more of, this is what life is. This is reality. So you like it or you don't like it, right? And he would put me through times where like I would just have to learn. Like it was just like, I would come visit his shop. He has a few shops in the city in Queens. And I would just come visit his shop and just sit with him. And sometimes he'd be like, oh, here's like $20, go get me food, or go get us food, right? Or I would come in my suit and I would wait for him on a chair, and he'd be like, oh, I need you to fix these phones. I need you to fix this screen crack, do this, do that. And I would spend all day in a suit, and like I'm in a corner, like fixing a phone. Like I'm like, this is not what I want to do. But the whole point was like, he's like, life isn't about what you want to do. It's about what's going to make you money. Because at the end of that, he did pay me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he probably hated it. He didn't like it, but you made money. So guess what? You take that money, now you put it into what you love. Now go build a business that you like.
Do you think that's important to have mentors in your life for like a young person who's just trying to get started? Do you think that's a crucial step?
1,010%, a billion percent. I mean, I could go on having them. It's as simple. Not even thinking about a mentor. It's just thinking about like, just don't waste time. Like, it's like why have a teacher, right? Like, you can go to school, you can go to college, right? It's the same thing as going to college but having no professors. It's like, just show up and do freebie, right? Like, go, I dare you, one day go open up a university, have no professors there, and just say, all right, guys, all free for all. You have to decide when to show up, what time do you guys leave, is there homework assignments, is there tests? You know what I mean? With a mentor, you're literally learning, like, here's what you got to do. Here's how you don't fail. Here's what I did. Here's what you're doing. Here's how you can fix it. Here's a new plan. Go. Like, they're telling you to take action on what they did wrong so that you don't have to do that same mistake. It's just cutting the learning curve by 1,000%, to be honest.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you, man. Now, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the sales side of things because I know you're doing a fair bit of sales with Digilism, the agency that you're working with right now. So talk to a younger listener now. I get a lot of young people approaching me telling me like, I just got out of high school, just got out of college, and I got a sales job, and I have no experience with sales. I have no idea what to do. So what would you tell that person that's kind of just like hopping into the sales industry for the first time and doesn't really know how to be an effective salesperson?
Bro, the number one key is to listen, bro. There's two things that people do that's a huge mistake, right? It's they listen to react. That's the worst thing that you can do, is to listen to react. And then there's the people who are good at what they do, which is listen to actually listen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you listen to react, the only thing you're doing is just waiting for them to be done so that you can just counteract what they're saying. That's a horrible salesperson. And there's the people who listen and then they actually have to pause and say, wait. Like, they're literally saying, like, I've been in moments where someone talks to me, I'm just like, and they're like, Jordan, I'm like, wait, give me a second. Okay. So, because I've been listening to them and I'm trying to think of what I can do to help them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's huge. And I see, like, even in the podcasting space, there's so many people that are just like, they just like wait to ask their next question and they're not actually listening to like what the person's actually saying to them. So I think that's really important to like be listening to actually listen, like listen to find a way that you can actually help them out. Because like with sales, like at a basic level, what you're trying to do is like, do I have a solution to this person's problem? And if so, like, how can I give them that solution? So that's super, super important.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, man, you got to listen, not listen to react. And another advice that I could give, just ask questions. Right? It goes back to the fundamentals of what we do as human beings. If you really think about it, like, why does a kid, like a toddler, always get his way with his parents, right? Like, if the mom says, you can have candy for breakfast, then the kids, as kids, they don't understand, but the kids are freaking amazing salespeople, bro. They are. They always get the way. Like, think about it. Why does a kid get to say why 1,000 times? And the mom's like, because I said no. They're like, why, right? Maybe why doesn't work. So guess what the next thing is? They start crying, right? That's still sales, because now they're doing another different form of communication with their parents. It's like, okay, this doesn't work. Let me try this. Boom, right? Crying. The mom's like, nope, not going to give it to you. What's the next thing? Kicking their feet in the air. Okay, cool. Now they're getting annoyed. Now the mom is like, oh my God, okay, but they're still saying no candy for breakfast. What's the fourth thing? Not listening, running around in circles. And she's just getting tired of it. She's like, all right, here you go. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same exact thing. It's just like, for them, it's like asking questions. Like, it's like being creative. And I always say this, think outside the box, but look right in front of you as you're doing it. You know? So there's so many ways to win the sale. It's just honestly, just think. Just think, but don't overthink yourself. It's right in front of you. All the answers are right in front of you. No matter if it's $1 million sale or a $10,000 sale, $100 sale, it's all in front of you. And just like kids, man, we should kind of go back to those roots and those fundamentals of ask questions. Like, if someone says, I'm not interested, ask why. And then they'll tell you why. And then say, okay, well, I can fix that. Cool. There's your sale. You know what I mean?
100%. Have there been any examples of sales or like sales situations that you've been in that, like, looking back, you handled them like not in the best way possible? Like, do you have any examples of times that you kind of like dropped the ball?
100%, man. I'm a human being. So like, I've had moments where I'm just like frustrated. I'm just like, don't waste my time. You know, there's some people that will literally talk to you just to waste your time. I've had trolls. I've had people like put fake numbers. I've had people block me. I've had people call me a million times. I've had people bullshit me. But that's just life, bro. It's the same thing as like anything in life. It's the same thing. It's just like you're gonna get those. You're gonna get those regardless. It's how you know you're doing good. People just want to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But I've had moments where like I get frustrated. Like I said, you have to listen to listen. I would listen sometimes just to react because I'm like, just be done with it already. I'm like, oh my god, like it's taking forever. Like, oh yeah, yes, cool. And then I'm just like, okay, like I'll be done. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just frustrated because I know they're wasting my time, but I kind of have that little maybe 1% chance in me, that little hope that maybe they're not.
So besides like listening to listen, like what are some of the key differentiators that you see between people who have real success in sales and people who kind of like struggle to keep their head afloat?
The ones who have the best success, honestly, are just consistent. Like for me, it's just being consistent. Like I literally will follow up with someone every other day for like the next year, even
Wow.
if it's for like a $10 sale. It's because it's like, it's my routine. It's like, I'm not thinking about the money. It's just like, if someone literally tells me, okay, I want to do this, but completely honest with you, Jordan, I just can't. I can't right now. I'm financially not there yet. So I shoot them a text every day. I'm like, how are you? How you feeling? Happy Thursday. Happy Saturday. Is everything okay? How are your parents? By the end of the year, when they couldn't do a $10 sale, they couldn't afford a $10 sale, and now they can afford a $10,000 deal. The first person I think of is, holy fuck, I'm like family with this guy. This guy has literally messaged me almost every other day. Like I'm on that level with people, and it just comes down to just being consistent, to be honest.
Do you ever get like negative reactions to that? Like I would assume like if you're hitting people up super consistently, like some people are going to be like, stop.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it takes a lot for someone to say that. Like I said, keep in mind what I'm telling you. I'm not nagging them or begging them for their money. I'm just saying, how are you? How you been? Who doesn't want that? You know what I mean? You got to think about it on the other side. People who fail in sales are the ones who just want your money, and they'll say some stuff like, hey, are you ready to pay? Hey, where are we with that payment? Like, I would block your number if you did that to me. But if you're texting me every other weekend, bro, it's been 2 weeks. I'm just checking up. Weather's amazing. Hope it's good over there. Shoot me a call if you ever want to talk. If you ever need me, let me know. Well, obviously, like, that's not a sale. That's just checking up on somebody, and they're going to want to hear more from you. But guess what happens when the moment you stop texting them or calling them? Now they're going to be like, well, fuck, the only way to talk to him is to pay him. So it's all psychology, man. It's all psychology, but you got to do it the right way.
Interesting. So what are some of the key, I mean, you mentioned psychology a couple times, but like, what are some of the key, like psychological, like frameworks or just like things that you think about when you're interacting with people in a business setting? Like, what are some of the key things you think would be important for a younger listener to really understand when it comes to how people think?
Stop being selfish. Just stop being selfish. Like, people just got to get out of this ego that they have, man. Like this ego that they're the best, or they're this or that. Their solutions are freaking messiah to things, and it's secure to everything, when it's honestly not. Like, sometimes if I'm on the phone with someone, I've been sold before. Like, I would be on the phone with someone trying to get them my product, and they're like, well, have you tried this? And I'm like, give me more details. And if it's better, I'm going to be like, honestly, don't even buy mine. Do yours. Like, that's much better, right? And that itself, just the honesty, because they're not, you remember, the people that you're talking to are not dumb people. They're smart people.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they know that you're feeding them a bullshit product, they're going to be like, well, this guy just wanted my money. He wants my money. He's bullshitting me. Like, this is not good for me.
Yeah.
But if I've been on the phone with people who literally know that they have another product that's maybe a little bit better, not necessarily the value, but maybe pricing wise. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, look, you're in a position where you only have $500. Don't even like, go spend it $100, because my stuff is very expensive. So I'm like, I'd rather you spend $100 on that, try it out, have $400 for a rainy day.
Yeah.
And their mindset is like, wow, this guy gives a fuck about me. Fuck it, I don't want him. I want to work with you, Jordan, just because you're strong. You know what I mean? So it's just coming down to, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish, man. Any situation you're in, if someone's hungry, just offer food. They might say no, but you still offered it. So when next time, if you have, for example, like it's why so many of the successful companies offer free samples, free tastings, free wine tasting, all these things, because you're just giving. You're not asking for anything. They'll do it themselves. You know what I mean? They'll do their own things, if that makes sense. Like, I remember with what was it exactly? Like, for me, one of the key things and what I do is that I just give. Like, if I have an hour call with you, like if I'm doing a consulting call with somebody, it's like an hour, and before we know it, it's been like 2 hours on it. And then on top of that, I sent him a recording of it. And on top of that, I sent him a text saying, pleasure speaking with you. And then on top of that, you know, I was sending him like a nice little emoji of like a smiley face. And then on top of that, is there anything else I can do for you? They're just like, oh my God, like I don't receive this from anybody else. Can we get on another call? I don't care how much it is. You know what I mean? I'm like, yes, here's my link. So as you can see, you know, like it's just don't be selfish, push the ego off and just do it for the people.
How was it ever a struggle for you, like struggling with being selfish or thinking about the money? Because I know a lot of young people out there that I talk to in particular, like I want to make money today. Like I want $1,000 in my bank account yesterday. Like I need this now. So how would you advise somebody who's sort of in that mindset, that scarcity mindset of like, I need to make money today, to think about that not being selfish?
Well, here's the thing, right? Why do they need to make money? Why? You got to sit down, man. You got to sit down with yourself and ask these questions. Like people don't have their vision or their mindset in alignment. It's just like all over the place. Why? Because you saw someone on Instagram flashing a Lamborghini at 21 years old. So you want it now? You want to make $1,000 a day? And you're going to spend your last $1,000 on your credit line to go afford a course? It's bullshit. Bullshit, bro. You got to just sit down and look at things the way they are. You got to sit down and say, do I want my $1,000 for me? Or is it so I can flex? Or is it so I can feel good about myself? Right? I'm in this for the long term, bro. So like I'm in it for whatever money that I make. I'm paying off my loans, my bills, what I have, and then whatever I have left, it's going to investing in myself. So I don't need it. Like you really don't need money. You just need it to survive. Right?
That's
But remember, it's all about survival of the fittest. So in reality, you just need yourself.
So talk to us now. I'm super curious how you linked up with Christian and the rest of the team that you're working with now at Digilism. Talk to us about that process and how you ended up linking up.
Okay, so I think it was like in March or May or in the beginning of the year, Christian had contacted me through Instagram. And he was like, hey, you know, I'm Shin. So this, and that, let's get on a phone call. And like at that time, you know, I'm just doing my own thing, bro. Like I was still in school and I was back home for some sort of break, but I'm still running a business on my own and I'm closing deals left and right and I'm doing what I got to do. And he was like, let's get on a phone call. And like, for me, keep in mind, I hate taking phone calls that don't make me money, right? Because some people will literally be on a phone with you for no apparent, like, imagine getting a phone call from someone who's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, what's up? Like, nothing much is sharing. How about you? And I'm like, is this gonna go anywhere? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this conversation with you and me is just valuable. It's gonna change a lot of lives.
Yeah.
But there's people who will waste your time and just say, I'm bored. What are you doing? And I'm like, go get a fucking job. Like, go do something with your life, bro. Like it's not even about me making the money. It's that the people that I make money with make money back. Like, if I'm collecting $1,000 from you, I'm gonna show you how to get more clients. Because you're gonna come back to me in 1 month because you already made 5 and each one paid you $2,000. Now you made 10 grand. So now you're gonna use that another $2,000 to make more. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm more about like efficiency and productivity than being busy. So I didn't know shit at all whatsoever. And we got on the phone and I was just like, what's up, bro? I got a few minutes, talk to me. I can't go over them. Like, I was just straight up with him and he was like, oh, okay, cool. He talked to me, gave me an idea for something and I like turned it down because at the time I didn't need it, right? I wasn't really dealing too much with like outsourcing my stuff. I could do it myself, even though it wasn't the best. And then we stopped talking. 7, 8 months, 6, 7 months, 8 months later, I come down to Tampa to visit a friend of mine named Kendall that we kind of competed on social media for who had a better marketing agency. So it was kind of competitive. And we finally met. And then he introduced me to Christian. And then it was just crazy because like from there, you know, from the ground up, like absolutely nothing. He already had a company before that, 1.0. And then he decided to rebuild it from the ground up and do Digilism 2.0. So he was the accountant and everything. It was him. The original 3 were him, me, and Kendall. And we just got together. We worked from an office. I was literally living on Chin's couch, and then like Kendall's dorm room couch for 30 days. There was a goal, which was like, you're going to hit this certain goal, then we're going to get a house together. And with no ads, with no infrastructure, with no actual like anything, just my phone and his phone, we did, well over 5 figures in 30 days. And because of that, we did well over what we would expect to hit, and we got a house together. And then from there, we started bringing on more team members. But that was it. Since then, he's become like my brother and like a mentor for me. He's just so smart. So I just kind of follow in his footsteps, and I'm hoping to become like him one day, if not, better or at the same level. But he's like, impacted my life in so many ways. So that's kind of how I met him. It's just kind of a coincidence how in the beginning, like I didn't really care to what he said to me because I wasn't outsourcing. I didn't do outsourcing. I just like doing things in house. And then now, like, we live together. We do everything together with the team. So it's an awesome experience.
Yeah. So what got you to like change course from where you were at to when you came down, met Kendall, and then got introduced to Chin for a second time? Like what was the changing factor?
I'm just like me, anytime I travel, I like to take one-way tickets because I don't know if I'm going to come back. I mean, I used to go to Canada a lot. I went to LA once. I went to Miami. I went to so many places. I used to travel all the time. And I spent my money so bad. Like I financially was not smart back then because I was making money at a young age. And I remember looking at my expenses for the summer and I had spent $21,000 at the age of 21 with absolutely no idea where my money went. I literally thought to myself, like, where did all this money go? I told my mom, she freaked out because she's like, this is so bad. Like the fact that for all of summer you spent that much money, you have no idea where not even a grand went to. Like I couldn't map it down. I had to go back to all my transactions and I'm like, wait, I didn't spend that. Wait, yes I did. Wait, yes I did. Oh my God, I did do that. Wait, what? I didn't know this was that much. I was just blindsided by the idea of spending. I thought it was fun. And then from there, what's crazy is I took a one-way. Like I love taking one-way because I honestly don't know where my life is gonna head. Right. But now I'm obviously gonna take some round trips because I come back here. That's what it was. It was fun, bro. Like I took them one way on Halloween, and it kind of all started from there.
Wow. So you like got there, you met up with them, and then like, was it the vision? Was it like the business model? Or like, what was it that made you?
We didn't even know what the vision was, bro. Like, I didn't even know what the vision was, to be honest, at all. All I was told was trust me. That's it. Like I was like, can you trust me? And I was like, yeah. And I'm telling you, like, why would I trust? Right in my head, I'm like, thinking I might be dumb because I'm told to trust somebody and I'm living on a couch, I'm living on another couch, I'm going back and forth, I'm doing this, I'm running out of money, running out of ideas. My mom's back home and like she's not in a good position. My stepdad's in the hospital. I'm like, what am I doing in my life? Like, I'm literally now I'm told like let's build a business from the ground up. And I'm like, oh my God. And then on top of that, I had to also kind of like add another business associate for my old business that I left back in New York. And I was thinking to myself, like, what do I do now? Like, I'm even more scared because I can't just leave someone like that. So now I'm like responsible, and I trusted the vision. We worked our asses off and we hit our goals. And goal one was to get a house. Goal two was to make a certain amount of money. Goal three was to bring in employees, 4 more partners, just so many things. And our team grew, and now our team is a happy six of us. We're doing extremely well for our age. We're all college dropouts except Christian, and we're close. By the end of the year, we should be hitting $1 million.
Wild, man. That's super cool. And your story is extremely, extremely inspiring. For all of our listeners, definitely would recommend digging deeper. But before we head out, I've got some questions that I like to ask all of my guests before we wrap up the show. Jordan, you feeling ready for them?
100%.
All right, let's do it. The first thing I'm curious about is what is something that genuinely has you excited right now? Could be in your business, in your life, but like what's got you fired up?
Man, I'm gonna have to make you sign an NDA first. But what I have exciting right now is just too many things, bro. Like, I wish I could tell everybody what we have going, what we have cooking up. But the excitement is this, right? This conversation will be completely different by the next one. It will be very different. All of my business partners will probably get on a podcast with you, and it'll be a very different conversation with which you would probably be asking us, how did you guys hit $1 million in under a year? How did you guys do this in under a year? How did you guys do this? Like, it'll be questions where you now need answers to, and you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, but what really has, it's just changing, bro. Like, it's just changed my involvement into a better person, into a better human, into a better, friend, family, brother, whatever it is. Like, I need to be better. It's exciting every day to wake up and know I can be 10% better than what I was. That's the excitement, bro. Being uncomfortable it's like, to be uncomfortable is literally like my I don't know how to explain it. It's like my magnet to me. It's like I need to be comfortable or else I don't perform well, to be honest.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Jordan, do you have any habits that have served you particularly well? These could be in your business, your lifestyle, just things you do on a regular basis to help you get to that next level.
For me, habits is a confusing thing for me. I've been very bad at that. I've had bad habits, I've had good habits, but what I do every single day is just listen to myself. It's just me, bro. Like I have thoughts, I have a lot of visions and ideas and goals that sometimes I think they're so crazy. I'm like, can I really do this by the age of 23? If not, I'll try 24, 25, whatever. Can I really hit this amount of numbers? Can I really do this? Can I really move into this? Can I really drive this? Can I really do that? But it's already in my head. I already thought about it. So fuck yeah, I'm gonna go for it. So my habit is to just sit down 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, if you can, first thing, and just hear yourself out. What is your thought saying? Is it saying by the end of the day, you're going to have, $10,000 in the account, and you're going to go eat pizza, and then you're going to go outside and go for a jog? If that's what you're thinking, go do it. Because your mind is very powerful. Your mind knows what's best for you, so go listen to it.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Do you have, I know you're putting out a fair bit of content on social media right now. Is there any content that you are consuming, whether that's books, audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube channels, anything in particular?
Yeah, it's real life. Real life, bro. I used to read all the time. And when I read all the time, I was making $0. Now I just do life. That's my book. It's real. Business and life is so different from books, bro. It's the actual scary, now I think in abundance, but before with books, I'm like, oh my God, I'm running out of time with this and that. Now I'm just like, now I have like real life uncomfortability where I'm like, if I don't get this done, like this is, you know what I mean? So I kind of have that real life urgency to learn and be better. That's my constant every day. It's free too. I get to live it every single day. With books, you have to kind of find a time to sit aside for yourself and read, and you got to pay for the books and the shipping. I mean, if I want to learn about, I don't know, poverty, I'll go where there's homeless people. Right? If I want to learn about giving, I'll go where charity is. If I want to learn about business, I'll go where a bank is. You know what I mean? So just thinking like that. See how I think outside the box, but it's right in front of me. It's just do real life, bro.
I love it, man. I love it. Doing real life.
Right.
Jordan, is there anything you do in your business that doesn't really scale? So when I'm talking about this, what I'm talking about is every single day, quick example, I'll pull out my phone and I'll shoot like 5 to 10 video DMs to just like random new followers or like people I want to hit up. Or just some way to really connect with the people that are following me, and have that one-on-one connection. And that's something that I don't bring on one of my VAs to do that for me all day. I want to have a message that's like, hey, Jordan, how's it going? Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there's any way I can add value to you. Have a wonderful day. Something super simple like that, but just starting a conversation. So is there anything that comes to mind for you that has that personal like Jordan Nazario touch to it that you don't choose to scale?
I like to do, okay, for me, like, it's kind of the other way around. So I get a ton of DMs. Like sometimes like every 48 to 72 hours, I'll have like 50 to 100 unread requests. Once I get them filled out, I even have like my partner look at them for me because it's at that level. What I end up doing that's just easier is just honestly sending a video. Like just take a video or one video from your camera roll and just say, hey, listen, thank you so much for reaching out. But 2 things, right? Either you're interested in learning from me or you're interested to become my friend, whichever it is. I'm going to leave a link below. Schedule a call with me. You see what I'm saying? So in that call, in the link that you drop below, you can have your questions, which is, if you're learning from me, here's 15 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Maybe I can help you out. If you want to be my friend, here's 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So you can just get to know people and they'll always come back. But for that, I'll even doing lives, do a live, go live with other people. Literally say, DM me if you're serious about doing this. And the people who are serious will DM me. People who are lazy won't.
That's the truth. That's the truth. All right, Jordan, you've been dropping so much value on our listeners, man. Where can they go if they want to follow up with you, learn more about your story, and just connect with you?
They can definitely hit me up on at Jordan Nazario. So JordanNazario on Instagram. You guys can just shoot me a DM there. I promise I'll answer. And ask me any questions you guys want, and we can chop it up from there.
Awesome. I'll be sure to link that up in the show notes as well for our listeners. Jordan, thank you again so much for your time, man. Do you have any last closing thoughts, words of wisdom, or anything you want to close out the show with here today?
Honestly, the last thing I could tell you guys is just be in love. Be in love with yourself. Be in love with life. Be in love with what you have in front of you. Be more grateful for what you have than what you don't have, right? Like a lot of people are always thinking about like, oh, I gotta prove the haters wrong. Oh my God, like my goal, like I'm gonna make $1 million so I can prove every single person who didn't believe me wrong. And I say, screw that. Prove your fans right? Do that instead. Stop focusing on the bullshit people who don't give a fuck about you, who don't even care about you. Focus on the 3 people who are always behind you cheering you on. Focus on them and prove them right as to why you keep going. Keep doing it the way you're doing it. Instead of the 100 people who don't care about you, because now you're wasting time. People who won't reciprocate any love or attention or energy back. But the 3 people who are always supporting you, prove them right and say, I'm doing this because you guys believe in me. Look what I'm doing. Like, you have a reason to believe in someone. So if anyone's going to believe in anybody, why not you?
That's the truth. Jordan, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you choosing to spend it here on Young Smart Money.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate you for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Young Smart Money. If you want to support the show, you can do so in 3 different ways. You can subscribe, you can leave me 5, and you can share this episode with a friend. To subscribe, all you got to do is click the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts. To leave me 5, all you got to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom of the podcast page for Young Smart Money and click on the Write a Review button. And to share with a friend, all you got to do is screenshot yourself listening to this episode, post on your Instagram story, tag me, and I will be sure to repost it in my Instagram story as well. I love giving you guys some attention who are listening to the show. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Real quick, just launched a new project called the Online Course Examiner, basically the Yelp of online courses. It is blowing up lately, onlinecourseexaminer.com. Check it out.